What a day. Oh, hello. Well, as I promised, another multi-voice reviewer. Of course, he's not here today, so I'm pitching in. Since Dracula decided to go somewhere else, and he lets me, jump in case. So, it's been a long time since I decided to do a review for you guys. I mean, I remember the last review I've done was, of course, Death Note from Japan. Well, this time I got a review for you today, and this time it's from America. I mean, I did tell you about the death versions in the comic book world. Well, here is a TV series that involves a young girl who is chosen to be the Grim Reaper. At first she didn't want it, but sadly, she has no choice. The one I'm going to review to you today is Dead Like Me. Now, what can you say about Dead Like Me? This is a really good show right here. It's about this young girl who is played by that lovely actress who goes by the name of Ellen Muth. Muth. What kind of last name is that? Muth. That sounds kind of silly. Anyway, she plays this girl who goes by the name of George. George Lass. I know what you're thinking. It sounds a lot like George Glass from the Brady Bunch. But anyway, oh, and in case you want to know who she looks like, here I have the second season. This is her right here. This is the actress. Anyway, in this story here, she plays this girl who goes by the name of George Lass. She has a mother, a father, and a younger sister. And her younger sister, she's always the invisible type that nobody knows that she's around. But her sister looks up to her. Now, the personality of this girl, she doesn't think of life as all exciting or all that. She always thinks that life is just so dull and boring and all that. Kind of makes you think of this girl Daria. You know, that animated series from MTV, Daria. You know, I've been asking Multi-Voice Reviewer that one of these days he should review Daria, because Dracula and I, and of course Multi-Voice Reviewer, they love the cartoon series of Daria. Anyway, the girl's personality just reminds me of her. I mean, she's not optimistic or see the brighter things in life. She finds it so dull and boring and all that. And then her fate was settled when one of the Grim Reapers, who is just a normal average black guy, touched her hair, and then from out of nowhere, a toilet seat who came out of an airplane just hurled right down to earth, and it landed right on top of her with a huge bang. Just, and that's her death. And, oops, sorry, butterfingers. Anyway, so she meets this guy, named Reuben. Now, Reuben, he's supposed to be the leader of the Grim Reaper group, and he's like the one in charge, tells the other Grim Reapers what to do. Kinda sounds like me. Anyway, he meets George and tells her that even though she's dead, she can't go to heaven and she can't go to hell, because she is chosen to go to, well, she ain't going anywhere, she's just stuck here. And she's chosen to be the new Grim Reaper, and she's like, what? Imagine that. So she cannot contact her mother, her sister, or her father. And you know, after her death, her father, who is a college teacher, seems to be cheating on his wife with one of his students. And her sister, she thinks more about death a lot because she misses her sister so much that sometimes she kind of thinks about she wants to die too, but it's not her time at all. So she's kind of gothic, and I mean, one time she did went gothic, and then the other time she just lived life in the fast lane. Makes you feel very sorry for her, you know. Anyway, throughout the show, he also meets the other people who are Grim Reapers. Like this British chap here who goes by the name of Mason. He's a Grim Reaper too, but he likes to live his life as a stoner. He likes to get high, and it doesn't matter how many drugs he takes, he just can't die. So he kind of likes it that way. And he also meets this black girl that you probably recognize her from that TV series Different World. You know, that spin-off of The Cosby Show. It's supposed to focus on one of his daughter, and then she just left the show, and it just focused more on the rest of the characters on the show. Yeah, that's her. She's playing Roxy, and she's a Grim Reaper who is a meter maid, and she has a really huge attitude towards people who always gets her on her bad side. Now, this blonde here, well, you see, in the first show, there was an actress who was there before her, but on like over 4 or 5 episodes, she decided to leave with one of the dead people. Decided to go to the other world. So now, they meet this new girl here. But unlike other people, she likes to be more like she likes to be a superstar, or more like a model. That's her deal. Oh, and another thing, for those who don't, some of you are thinking, could George ever go back to her parents? Would they find her and recognize her? Well, here's the thing. To other people's eyes, they see him as someone else. So you can't see what they truly look like. You just see him as someone else. That's the thing. So, throughout the show, in the first season here, George decided to trying to continue her life as a Grim Reaper. And another thing that she discovers, that even though you're a Grim Reaper, you can't pay the bills. You can't get paid to do it. So you need to have like a simple job, just put food on the table and pay the bills and all that. So she went back to the old job that she was hired from when she was alive, but tried to work more on her personality, be more like, be a little bit of a suck up to her boss. A little, not a lot. Although I do hate brown noses. That's for dang sure. Because seriously, I met a few people who were suck-ups to me, and I never liked them, and neither did Dracula. So right now, she's kind of, you know, going through her Grim Reaper immortality life, and she handles, and the only kind of death she deals with are accidents, murders, or suicides. Because there are other types of Grim Reapers who handle these other types of death, like disease or other things. So for those of you who want to know, I mean, for any of you who have Netflix or have the DVD of it, give it a watch or find the DVDs. They only made about 2 seasons of the show. And of course, another thing you should know, that Mason, the British chap here, he has a thing for her, because he thinks she's really beautiful. And the funny thing is, that George, all the other Grim Reaper people, they always kept calling her toilet seat because of the toilet seat that landed right on top of her. but Reuben here, the head, he calls her Peanut. So he's more of a kind-hearted type. Just don't pee him off. And one thing that he enjoys doing, he can eat about a tons of unhealthy food and it does nothing to his body. That's one thing I've done. I mean, I can eat about over 12 chocolate cakes and I still look thin. Now, throughout the show, it was a good run, all 2 of these seasons here. And then all of a sudden they decided to give it a final ending, kind of like what they did with Firefly. After the 2 seasons, they decided to make sort of like an ending finale by making this. Dead Like Me, Life After Death. And this one takes place after the 2nd season have ended. And it turns out Reuben has gotten replaced by a new guy who's now in charge. And they want to know what he done with Reuben, because they have a lot of suspicion that he may killed Reuben and took over. And instead of giving him post-its, oh yeah, that's the thing on the 1st season. You see, how the job goes, Reuben, he lives in his apartment, and some mysterious guy from the other side shows up to his doorstep and gives him a list of names who's supposed to die. So right now he writes down the names and post-its and putting on the time of death, and then they give them to the rest of the Grim Reapers to find the people, put their hand on them, and it's their time to go. And here's a flaw. If they don't touch them, if they don't put their hands on them to declare their death, their soul will be stuck in their body and they're going to live in the entire agonizing pain from autopsies and all that. That was proven on that show right there. Yeah, that happens. Like one time I met someone, I couldn't let him go. Well, of course, to me, it's different. I mean, I come after people die. And after they die, I just give them a hand and help their soul up so I can lead them. And of course, see what they've done during their years on Earth. And if they're good, I can lead them to St. Peter. And if they're bad, I can lead them to hell. And that's my job. It's not exactly a good job, but it's what I'm created to do here. Anyway, in this movie, this new guy took over, and it turns out he did kill Reuben. And he's trying to be more up-to-date kind of death person. He gives them cell phones and sending them missions, sending them message to tell them who has to go and what time. And one time, George discovered that the person that she was supposed to attend to, who has to die, she misses. So she walks up to the new boss telling him she lost one, and he was like, it's okay. But George was like, what? There are consequences. And he's like, whatever. And of course, he's spoiling the rest of the Grim Reaper people. I mean, she's letting Roxy meet the commissioner of the police and getting her promoted as a cop. And getting that blonde girl a career as a model. And also Mason. And of course, here's one thing you should know. Almost at the end of this movie, George meets her sister, and she's like all grown up. but she's still depressed. So she finally talked to her sister and had a little chat, telling her that she should live her life the way she wants to and not think more about death so much, but live a good life. Because that's the important thing that you all should do. I mean, take it from me. Don't think much about death or me. Just live a good life and I'll be there to take your destination. And that's about it. And that's my job. That's what I do. Just thank goodness it ain't the Black Plague. That just... I hated things like that. I hate great disasters. Make me work overtime. And it ain't good to me. Anyway. The show is really hilarious. I mean... Hey. If you don't find the show... I mean, if you find this show very funny, you'll laugh yourself to death and I'll meet you there. All in all, get yourself Dead Like Me, first and second volume and the movie, and give them a watch, because it is pretty good show. Oh yeah, the guy who played Ruben, Mandy Patinkin. Oh, I like Mandy Patinkin. Hang on a second. Here's that one of my favorite lines that he did. Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. He about to die. You know, I should talk to Multi-Voice Review of reviewing Princess Diary, because that was a really good one. Hello, my name is Mr. Death. You haven't killed anybody, so I guess it's your time. Anyway, enjoy Dead Like Me. You'll get a chuckle. I mean, it's a dark comedy and also a drama, but very entertaining. So, for those of you who like this review, please leave a comment down below, hit like, subscribe, and if any of you ever seen it on Facebook, please share it and enjoy for all of you. Well, let's see. Business as usual. But I will return, folks, because I will return for my next review. And guess what I'm going to review next time? I'm going to review a video game. I mean, I know Count Dracula, when he first appeared, he reviewed Castlevania, and he did the sequel, Lords of Shadow Part 2, but I am going to review a video game where you have your chance playing the Grim Reaper, or playing me. And the game is called Darksiders. So, stay tuned. So stay tuned to the next review, where I kick some demon butt. So long.